going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So we're gonna keep working on the working class copper bullion bars here. I've been laid up for a few days. I didn't think it was COVID, but it was COVID again. Third time's a charm, I guess. Man, I'm just getting tired of it, dude. I really am. So if the forge wasn't already done for yesterday, it rained buckets all day long, and that forge is probably full of water. So we're gonna have to go dump it out, drain it out, maybe fire it up really slow to bake the water out. Because oh man, I just need to squeeze one more use out of it. That's all I need, is one more use. We just got a little bit of scrap here and a little bit in the basement. I just want to melt it into scrap bars, which should be relatively quick and painless. And then get those bars in the queue, and then hopefully we won't need the forge until springtime. I'm thinking, hopefully. This thing can just sit up here and churn away all winter long. And we'll just fill that bucket back up, and that should buy me some time to get some funds together to get the smaller Devil Forge and repair that one. It amazes me that, the people responsible for this sickness, like, not a single person has been held accountable, put in jail. Like, you are funding this research, you weren't just funding it in the United States, you were funding it in enemy territory of all places, and then oops, it escapes from a lab. And no one's held accountable. A whole bunch of people died. And the same people that are funding and pushing for war, death, and destruction are the same people that are coming after us, the law-abiding citizens, law-abiding gun owners, that are saying, no, we want peace and prosperity. We don't want wars. We don't want fighting. There should be no fighting. But they're coming after us, changing the laws on us, making us felons. So I guess now, technically, I'm a felon. Great. I don't really give a shit. Don't give a shit. So, I'm gonna take my felon ass, go grab some propane, and we're gonna melt some scrap right now. Yeah, that's if I can find everything. Oh. Keys? If the hell is it? Gonna roll like a felon if I'm a felon, you know what I mean? Never leave home without it. It's just on my way out. Look what what the hell, Duke? He literally ate it. He freaking ate the bird. I just found my new propane place. And it's crazy because you try to look online sometimes and it doesn't show you where these places are. You literally have to just drive around and look for them. But I found my new propane place, for sure. From now on, I'm going to Walmart. Because if I had gone to Walmart in the first place, I wouldn't have gone back out today. Because I paid $25 a bottle in the city of Boston at a propane swap in the city. So 4 bottles was $100. Then I started going to Norwood Bottled Gas because it was $22 a bottle. And you got the 10th one for free, but it's still too far out of the way. I had no idea this whole time that Walmart had freaking propane bottles for $19.92. All in. It's under $20. So for $100, for under $100, I can get 5 tanks filled. And when it comes to the forge and stuff like that, that is a huge deal to me. All right, Duke. Come on. Load out. How's the damage, Duke? Oh, that had water. Yeah. There's like pieces of the forge. Look at that. There's a piece of the forge lid that fell in the crucible, but stuck onto the borax. It never made it into the pool of copper at the bottom. Good thing. Yeah, definitely when I get the new smaller forge, I'm gonna try to do things a lot differently than the way I've been doing them. Yeah, I thought, you know, I was reading the comments. I thought, like, I've tried, like, a metal spoon. I just gotta get the right utensil, I guess. I need to get a long, really, the proper length spoon that can withstand that kind of heat. I mean, sometimes it's easier said than done. This stuff is so freaking hot, dude. Oh, look at that. A couple little beads of copper. I must have missed the crucible. Those will get remelted with the scrap, though. I don't want to trust it. Oh. Yeah, see all the borax? Yeah. That's all the borax that I was flipping it upside down and heating it up. And it would just drain and absorb right into this fire brick. That's not bad, actually. Look at it, it absorbed right into it. These things were not that expensive. And for the smaller forge, I could probably cut them in half. Or maybe that's what I should do, is put something down at the bottom like that of the new forge that can just absorb that stuff. Alright, well, it doesn't seem to be, luckily, it doesn't seem like much water got in here. That lid did a pretty good job of keeping the water out, surprisingly. So, I'm gonna go grab all the copper stuff. We're gonna fire it up. Alright, we're gonna start off with that big piece of brass and a bunch of copper. That's well, we got one other big piece of brass, but it's just gonna get mixed in and then purified out. And this is gonna take a while to melt and get hot. And then we'll start feeding in all the rest of the copper from the basement. Oh, there's moisture in there. I can hear snap, crackle, and pop, and I can see steam coming out the side. Shit. Oh well. This thing's done anyways. Wonder how long it'll boil for. It's crazy. Well, we got looks like we got eight more bars. Very, very impure though. There was actually more brass in the bucket. So it's mostly copper, a little bit of brass mixed in. They're hideous, most hideous, ugliest bars I ever made, but it doesn't matter. The only purpose of this exercise is to condense it down into something small that can be hung from a wire and purified. All right, I am very grateful that the forge held up for one last hurrah. I kind of still feel like my cereal box here, though, I'm not gonna lie. Meh. Getting there. You know what's crazy to me, though? Leave it in the comments. I'm interested to know what people think. If you had to guess, just by looking at it, what would you say? How much copper do you think in weight is in my kitchen right here? We've got these bars, which if we take those two, so these are from today, and then these we already had, plus we have all of these. And then plus what's in here. I know it might be difficult to get an exact gauge over camera, but in person it just boggles the mind. Because we just had a half a huge bin full of copper, and it condensed down to 8 bars. So if you've left, don't wait until you hear the answer before you leave the guess. Leave the guess in the comments. Well, we have 170 pounds, give or take, roughly speaking, in right here. Isn't that insane to you? It's crazy how, like, and that's the benefit of the forge, is you can take this big, huge, massive thing of copper and condense it down into the small form factor that you need to hang it on a wire and then do this process. And I'm just as interested as you guys in, can you take brass, can you take a brass bar and shove it in this system and suck the copper out of it? I don't see why not. Like, on paper, why wouldn't that work? This chemical process is still the same chemical process. The copper is the only thing that's going to go across. The brass isn't going to grow on the other side. Copper is going to go through. I think the only thing that's going to happen, and this is where the downfall is, and this is why I didn't want to start with a full brass bar. I wanted to mix copper and brass together and kind of make like a, I don't know, a half and half. Because I think the only thing that's going to do to us is it's going to make this process take a lot longer, and the fluid is going to get a lot dirtier, and it's going to take a lot more filtering to get it clean. I think that's the only difference. You hear that? We've got a problem. We've got a short. What do you want, Duke? You're not manipulating me anymore. I'm tired of it. Yeah. I swear, I come home, I feed him. He goes outside for like 15 minutes and he comes barging back in the door and he's like, meow, 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 I want my treat now. And then I said no, and he went outside for like a half an hour now, and he came back in. Give me my treat. You see him? Oh, he loves me right now. Oh, he loves me right now. He's all rubbing on me. Oh, wants the attention. Watch, if I get up, watch, he's gonna steer me. He's gonna steer me right over to the drawer. He even knows where it is. Unbelievable. Is that what you want? This is his crack. I swear to God, this stuff right here. He's like, don't fuck around, man. Give that shit to me. Alright, Duke. You got plenty of food in your bowl.
Here. You've just manipulated me once more. I mean, he is a good cat, so, I mean... It's not like he doesn't deserve it, but, like, I just, you know, don't like being manipulated by a cat. But, you know... I could have worse problems, I guess. Hey, Duke! Give me daps, man. Good, that's a go kitty. Give me daps, man. Yeah, that's a good boy. Baby. Not taking much at all. So I'm going through and I'm just gonna do the top of every bar, put it to the side, give it a minute to cool off while I work on the rest. That way I'm not like cranking the, you know, this clamp or the vise. I'm not like in and out, in and out. I can do that and then we'll go and do all the sides. I think it'll just make things faster when you do it like that. All right, we got all the tops done. There's a few that just have a, I mean, most of them, I mean, they were like close to perfect. I just put them in here and just gave them a kiss real quick and boom, they were perfect, right? But other ones have like an imperfection and some of them are in a really bad spot. So you gotta try to get inventive. Obviously I want it to be as flat as possible, but if I flatten it all the way, there won't be enough copper there to make the bar. It'll be underweight, so I have to kind of try to shave corners here or there just to hopefully make it work. And we don't start dropping from 41 down to 35 bars, you know what I mean? But there's a couple in here that I noticed that may not make it. Two in specifically that might have to be ground down too much to fix. So again, I'm not focusing on the corners yet. So if there's a little bit of black, I just leave it. I'm just trying to whack the side. Well, 6 hours later, we're the hell out of there, man. My back's killing me. Yeah, let's just get back to the house. All right, guys, we got some little problems. Notice anything here? I did say this in the beginning. I knew this would happen. The drywall screws, the copper sulfate just chewed through them and they snapped. This cheap pine that I used, the copper sulfate doesn't seem to affect it at all. But the metal screws, it chews them up. So we're gonna change all of the screws to stainless and then see how it goes from there. I'm sure stainless should be fine. But that's how I do things. I just try it, and if it blows up, then don't do that again. You know, that's how I do science. Just look for things not to explode. But now that we got all the bars home, we've done, I would say, I love this bar. I freaking absolutely love this bar. is such a cool... this was an accident, but I don't know. I dig this bar, man. I do. I almost don't want to sell this one. This one's precious. But yeah, we did probably 95% of the, the rough material removal. 95%. So the bulk of the material removal has been done. There's going to be a little bit more, but not much. So I weighed everything, every last bar, to make sure that anything that was under just gets removed. And anything that's too close for comfort gets removed. Because I don't want to go to the next step if it's going to be not what I want. 7 bars straight out the gate, man. I was hoping for like 1 or 2, but 7! That really sucks, man. The first batch was like 32 bars, I believe. And we're already down to 34. That ain't gonna fly. So, unfortunately, this is gonna delay the second batch. Because I want to get the full thing out there. I want this batch to be bigger. Yeah, some of these bars are 1 pound, 7.8 ounces. I mean, they're close. They're close to 1.5 pounds. They're just not 1.5 pounds. As advertised, didn't make the cut. And then there's one in there, or there's 2, actually, I believe, that are 1 pound, 8.1 or 8.2 ounces. They're just too close. I get it, like to some people it might seem asinine and like a complete waste of time and money to take a perfectly good bar that might be 0.1 or just a fraction of a point under what it's being stamped as. And it's like, why are you... Because like when I order silver or that kind of stuff from like SD Bullion, I don't check it. Because I know I don't have to. Because I trust the source and I trust their name. So that's what I want. The stamp that goes on that bar only goes on that bar if it's been vetted and checked. Well, I don't have much down here, but I've been saving various pieces of pipe and 2x4s and drywall corner bead. Just anything that I think I could potentially use at some point. But right now, what I know I do need is a nice, strong built table that can take a lot of weight, that can get destroyed. I don't care about. That can take the copper setup and just be abused. And we can sand and do all kinds of stuff on it. And who knows, that table might grow and expand as time goes on. For now, it's going to fit right here. But who knows, when we move this way, that table can grow and become bigger. We might end up gaining a slop sink here or there. You know what I mean? So that we can wash the copper sulfate down at the ground level and not have to worry about destroying cast iron pipes. Well, a little bit of grass, stuck on it here and there, but yeah. I had this literally just like kind of kicking around. Saved little scraps and bits and we built a table with blocking and everything to accept a vise. This is going to dry out here. Hopefully it don't rain tonight. This shouldn't absorb any moisture or stink or mold from the basement. And tomorrow we'll bring it inside, install the vise, and bring the copper bars down. Duke, do you mind? I'm trying to get some stuff here, dude. Well, I don't have enough sandpaper to do all of them, but I have a little. So let's take 4 bars down there go test out the new setup. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Definitely not enough light down here, but again, hopefully this is temporary. Once these tenants leave, which we'll have to force them, but once we move over there, I'm gonna put all the appropriate lighting and make it professional. But for now, our little ghetto shop should do just the trick. All right, this was a good little test run. Works pretty good. You just have to do the top last. Do the sides first, then the top, because the glue in the painter's tape is like, I don't know, it's leaving a mark on the top. So I do the sides, and then you clamp it by the very bottom corner, blast the top. I still need to bring the wire brush and a grinder down here for the bottoms, but I do 60 grit, and then I jump to 220. That's what I did last time. And then once we're at 220, we can draw pencil lines and do the stamp, and then it will be ready for polish, which last time I just used this machine right here, which this is cheap, right? And it came with really cheap, crappy buffer wheels. So I got 2 high quality buffer wheels for this machine here. I'm gonna chuck these 2, and then also I think we're gonna use this on the grinder and put the green polish in this, so I can really bear down on the bar and really get it shiny. And then we'll do a touch up with this last, I think. I just want these to be like glass, kind of shiny, you know what I mean? So here's the plan, guys. The second run is not going to look anything like the first, but we're going to continue the number system. So the first run of bars was 31 bars. So there's a bar out there somewhere that has the stamp 31 on it. So this run is going to start with bar 32 and so on and so forth, right? And it's really nice to have that little table down there, or workbench with the thing, because now I don't have to drive a half hour to my shop, take multiple trips there, and feel like I have to bang it all out and rush. Now I can take a couple at a time, go down there and take my time and do a nice job. But we're gonna do the pallets a little differently. So last time I said I wanted the pallet look, but I ended up building crates. They had sides on them and a top, and they were kind of like long, and they were cool and all. I do like them, but it wasn't what I was picturing in my head, you know what I mean? Like after I did it, I'm like, it's not what I was going for, really. So now I know exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna make literally reproductions of a pallet, like a pallet you would find at a warehouse, except they're made out of mahogany and walnut. And I'm gonna take my time and sand them, you know, soften all of the edges, and then I'm gonna get a spray can of satin polyurethane, just to bring out the color in the wood and seal it. And I don't want it to be shiny, because I don't want it to take away from the shiny of the bar. So we're gonna do like a satin flat kind of finish for the palette, and it's gonna be square, not like a rectangle like last time. So the bars will go on the palette like this, and there'll be a nice square, like just like that. And there'll be a nice square palette, and then I'm gonna get some straps, so we can do a strap, a strap, a strap, and a strap. So the straps hold everything down, and then we're gonna shrink wrap it, just like a pallet. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna make way more than I ever think I could need. If we have extras, they can go towards the next run, you know? But I want to give people the choice this time, and not say, well, I have 2 mahoganies and 1 walnut, what do you want? No, I want people to be like, this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. I want a walnut palette, and I want 4 bars on it. Or I want a walnut palette, and I want 6 bars on it. Or I want a walnut pallet and I want 8 bars on it. And then they'll all be strapped and shrink wrapped and shipped out. I mean, how cool do you think that would look? Honestly. With a nice walnut or mahogany pallet that lifts them up. It looks like an actual warehouse pallet, except it's nice wood. And then you have these like pristine, nice, beautiful copper bars. They got the logo, they got a bar number, they have 3 9s, they have the weight stamped on the sides. They've all been polished, cleaned with isopropyl alcohol with white gloves so there's no oils on them. And then they get vacuum sealed in a bag and preserved. I think that is going to be badass. Dude, I almost want to keep one for myself, but I could really use the money right now. Unfortunately, but I will make myself one later. I think that's going to be so freaking cool, man. So, yeah, we're going to go grab a tank of gas. I'm going to go grab polish, more green polish, sandpaper. Because unfortunately, I was hoping to be done by this weekend. Because my buddy is coming this Wednesday. I have to go pick him up from the airport. So it's going to be a busy week. But I want to go get gas and I want to remelt these 7 that didn't make the cut. Because I'm going to force them to make the cut. So they're going to get redone. We're going to drag the forge out one more time. And if we have enough crystal by then we'll make another one. So we might be at 41 to 42 bars this run. And I want them all to be done, everything to be packaged and done before I say, they're ready, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this next video coming, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to go down in the basement, finish the sanding process up to a certain point, then pencil lines and stamping, and then polishing, which I'm going to do a 2-step polishing process this time to make them look like glass. And then, yeah, the rest of the steps all the way to packaging. But, yeah, like I say, my buddy's coming this coming Wednesday. I have to go pick him up from the airport. On the way back, we're going to go swing into the courthouse so I can start the eviction process. Fun. Yeah, for the tenants downstairs. Because I've had it. And I just want to get the ball rolling. Right, because it's going to be cramped up here. And my buddy waited till the last second to tell me he's allergic to cats. I'm like, I have a cat, right? And he's like, yeah, just keep him out of my room. It should be fine. I'm like, well, he thinks it's his room, man. So you know what that means, Duke. Sorry, buddy. But you're going to get evicted from this room. You didn't think I was going to say I was going to get rid of him, did you? No, I would get rid of my buddy before I get rid of Duke. Duke's my dog. Oh. Right, Duke goes nowhere. Duke stays with me. But yeah, the tenants downstairs, man, like, it amazes me. It really does. It amazes me. Because I see them rolling up every day with the system bumping, and then they're getting out of the car and they got the chains on, and it's like, I think it's where society went wrong, right? It doesn't matter how poor you are, you're trying to, like, you're fighting for this this persona that you have money. Like, who cares? I wear the same ripped up ratty freaking clothes every single day. I don't have a car, I don't have a system, I don't have any of that. I don't care. I can pay my bills. They can't, like, honestly, they can't afford a $2 trash bag. They haven't paid their rent in 4 months. And they don't understand how much that's affecting me. You know what I mean? I had a $2,000 bill. Just surprise from the mortgage company saying the insurance went up. I have 30 days to pay $2,000. And now they're behind 4 months. They owe me over $4,000, way over $4,000. So there's $6,000 just
Poof!
So that's why I don't have the this doesn't even work. The gas is off. It's disconnected because it's not safe. I want to get the new heating system, but it's like $2,000. And if they weren't screwing me around, it would already be in by now, because that's what needs to be done. Heating system needs to go here. This needs to leave, and then I can bring up the other stove that's sitting in the shed, put it there, and then this unit is done, 100% done. And then I'm gonna rent this out, and me and my buddy are gonna go down. And then we'll have direct basement access. We'll have more basement space. I'll have the driveway, and we'll be living on opposite ends of the house. So, like I say, we don't even need to see each other if we don't want. So, yeah, things are busy. But I'm gonna be chipping away slowly, and I can't wait to get the next run of bars out, because they're gonna be sick, man. So keep an eye out. Make sure you thumbs it up, subscribe. See you in the next one.
Give it to me.